I think that would be a little bit more reliable. And Tetcher, we're going to Towers of Doom for game number 1. Already a very promising, start to this super series, as I want to call it.
Indeed, especially for SPT, especially for CE, where this is definitely a better map for them than it is for SPT. But they've tried this before, and SPT have outclassed them here pretty much every single time. So it's gonna be pretty risky here. But as an example for you, Towers of Doom has not even been played by SPT during this season with this current roster. Now that they are using Molly.
And CE definitely did their homework as well. They banned out the Dragonshire. So should this map go south for SPT, they couldn't even fall back onto their most reliable, onto their most comfortable battleground.
Exactly, which could be potentially risky for them. Hands up picked up first for SPT in this case, with Junkrat and Genji banned out. Very different to the drafting we have seen earlier. Just so you guys know, Towers of Doom, 71% win rate for CE, when once again SPT have not played it at all. They are very, very good on the map. It's not their best win rate, but I doubt they'd want to play their best win rate against SPT, because their best win rate is Battlefield.
Tetra, I think Towers of Doom could be a battleground that could potentially involve a little bit of Maiev plays. I think it's one of the better maps for her, due to the fact that there are so many walls where she can use the Avatar of Vengeance over. There are so many hidden angles she can come from. And for that very reason, I think Medivh is not too bad of a pick either. The portals really allow you to either escape or initiate from an unexpected angle. Malfurion actually taken away already as well, because he's one of the better counters to those portals. You drop the roots underneath, and all of a sudden, there's nowhere left for the enemy heroes to go. So this is already so unique for CE, because I can't remember the last time they played Medivh themselves.
They haven't. Not since they've been at this particular roster. Since they have had these players, they have never played Medivh.
Nice. So already a premiere coming in what could potentially be the most important game of the phase for them.
That's quite a huge deal here. Being able to bring that in and also set up that Medivh, who has been so impactful recently. I don't know who's going to be playing that for them. I would like to think a
right?
I mean, I'd kind of like to see a Lufel do it, honestly.
Oh, okay. Even Zuyu could do it. I think Zuyu could have the mechanical skills to do it.
I think most of their players have the mechanical skills there. Like, I would argue the most mechanically, not unskilled, but potentially like a little bit slower, but much more of a strategic thinker, I would say, but a little bit slower in terms of reaction speeds, which are kind of important for Medivh, would potentially be 365. But he's getting so much better due to the fact he has to cleanse. So he's just getting so much quicker and better at that. So yeah, I think anyone could do it. But Diablo is now on the board, and that makes everything scary, but it prevents the Diablo-Medivh combo.
Exactly. I think it was more of a preemptive pick here for SPT, so they wouldn't have to ban it, and they wouldn't have to worry about it falling into the hands of CE, because we all know what Leyland Seal Apocalypse can do. It could very much be doom and your demise as well. For now, though, Diablo, of course, needs a little bit of a CC chain buddy. Uther could fulfill that role sometimes. There are other heroes available, like Sonya, for instance. Now, what is CE going to ban out? In my opinion, they should focus on a solo laner or on a hero that could potentially mess up the Medivh combo. And a VP counter the Leyland Seal with a VP, potentially. That could be quite funny. So they take it away. Good call.
Garrosh being hovered as a ban, this would be the most suitable one. Garrosh has been so high in priority. He is a good follow-up bit of CC. Leyland into the Warlord's Challenge can be pretty good. Or even if not, then being able to teleport in and throw someone can be absolutely terrifying, because Garrosh's biggest issue is lack of mobility. Portal very much makes up for that. Oh,
cool. Our Chinese production crew is actually hovering in the win rate of Diablo, sitting currently at 57. Not too shabby. And seeing definitely way more play than before. And actually having a pretty huge sample size. So 14 picks and then still coming out with an almost 60% win rate. That's definitely respectable.
Not bad at all. Malthael coming in here. If this was a couple patches ago where Paradise was still playing for them, I would say this was a problem. But Paradise was replaced, as we already know. And honestly, I think this is pretty acceptable. And a Stitch is coming in. Wind is showing us something cool.
Oh my goodness. We totally forgot about Stitches, because everything is about Garrosh and Diablo at the moment. But of course, Stitches, probably one of the most old school combos with Medivh. You hook someone in, you gorge them, and then you walk through a portal, and poof, that's all she wrote for that hero, unless you're Genji, by the way.
You don't even have to gorge. With this particular build, you can set up some really good stuff. But this is a classic. Once again, this is another hero that hasn't been played since CE had their current roster. But it was something that they used to play quite a bit, using, once again, just the sheer power of wind god hooks to win multiple matches, especially on this map. So I'm excited to see that as a return.
I still remember, Tetcher, how we were lamenting and complaining about why Chinese Warriors wouldn't play Stitches anymore when it did them so well in 2017, right? And Wind was one of those Stitches gods of 2017. He was one of the most accurate hookers, if you will, in the game. It was so well done. And then we have SPT now trying to counter all that aggression, all that picking potential with the Stitches, and with a little bit of bunker play. You know, you can definitely run towards a bunker if you're focused by a fort by the enemy heroes. So, well played on their part as well. One of the few teams that consistently relies on the Blaze.
Lots of mobility here. Blaze with the thruster packs, Li Ming with teleport, Diablo charge if there's something to charge to. Only one who really can't escape if they are gorged somewhere is Uther. The other issue, though, if it is Putrid Bile, can create issues, and this is a really good idea. I was, for starters, going to like, okay, they need a ranged. But the issue is they're going to be outpoked. Right now, Li Ming and Hanzo has much more superior poke to Medivh, Malthael, and Tychus combined. It's just how it is in this case. But Stitches cancels that stalemate.
Yeah. It's just so cool. You can compare this draft to the draft that we just saw in game number 2 between RPG and KT, right? And RPG was relying on double percentage damage. They were going for the Malthael and for the Tychus against the Diablo as well. But guess what? The Medivh countered all that percentage damage so well with portals, so Diablo could escape, or with just flat-out protection. And this time, C was actually picking the Medivh before the Diablo. Then the Diablo goes over to the enemy team, no more protection, no more mobility is available, and then they go for double percentage damage. So they just played this draft 10 times as smart as RPG did in the previous game. Is it going to work out, though? That is the big question. Can they use all the good tools they assembled to their advantage?
I don't know. This is tough because, once again, like you said, CE, their draft looks really good. If they're all alive and it's a straight up team fight, SPT aren't going to be looking for that. SPT are going to be looking for bursts and blow-ups. But let's see if they're going to be able to get it. Burden of execution certainly lies on SPT here for those kills, as they are on the left-hand side of the Towers of Doom. And playing for them, it is going to be Molly on Hanzo, Melody C on Li Ming, Misaka on Diablo, Soap on Blaze, and ZZH is playing the Uther.
Their opponents, the eternal rivals of the Super Perfect team, it is Challenge, represented by Alufal on that Medivh. Wind is playing Stitches, 365 on the Malfurion, KTY on the Tychus, and Malthael being played by Zuyu. So the mastermind Alufal adding yet another hero to his inventory.
I'm excited. I am very excited. Going from an ex-support player and finally bringing out the Guardian as an assassin player, this is going to be cool to see. Starting off, though, with potentially a talent that I'm not too keen on Medivh, the extra mana regen and health regen in Raven form. It's cool, but I can't help but feel that you're literally just not relying on yourself to play well if that's the talent that you go for, because Portal Mastery should be better as they hook in Soap, focusing down, minigun value, and KTY helps pick up the kill. Stitches, though, getting the final blow.
Yeah, and that is exactly how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. You go for the hook, the roots immediately cast, regardless if the hook would land or not. Just the execution needs to be there, and then, of course, the beautiful, the beautiful shield by Alufal as well to save Tychus, I think it was, who was currently getting focused. So this is so huge. It's actually flabbergasting. Oh my goodness, there goes another comment. It's actually flabbergasting to see how Melody C was picking the Li Ming. I think that was the final pick, right? I think it was the draft's final pick.
Li Ming was the
So
last.
he picked a cooldown reset dependent hero into the Medivh, who could literally shut down all those resets from ever happening. So I'm really interested in seeing whether that plan is going to work out, or if Li Ming is going to get shut down heavily by the Medivh.
In comes Wind, Medivh, Alufal, Zuyu, and Wind versus Soap and MLDC, but in comes Misaka. All they need is one kill, and MLDC can turn this around. 365 right, and they get one. Medivh is down. Zuyu is the next target. Wind just portals out. Zuyu, there's no portal left. He goes down, and the kill count is even. The camp is stolen. Good rotation by SPT.
Good rotation, but also mixed decisions here, or different decisions that were trying to be executed here. On the one hand, we had Medivh using the portal super early, so they could have evacuated if they had wanted to. And then on the other hand, nobody was actually willing to let go. The staring contest all over the mercenary camp was still raging on. And as such, when they wanted to retreat, the portal was already expired, and Medivh no longer has infinite portals, right? So this kind of indecisiveness is definitely going to get punished later on in the game. For now, in the early game, it doesn't really matter. Like, cooldowns for death timers are short. Experience gain is never that tremendous. But this was a really good learning lesson, hopefully, for CE.
Dust of Appearance coming in for Medivh. Very sensible when you have a Stitches who's going to want to obviously hook from as far away as possible, get that vision increase, and also with Dust of Appearance, you are allowed to reposition yourself into a much safer position. But for now, SPT winning the map. CE, though, still very many chances to recover.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a good job soaking here to keep up the experience flow. Zuyu in particular, of course, rotating from middle to top and in reverse. He's actually going for the right-hand side altar already. A cheeky hook into the follow-up with the roots and the minigun by KTY. Chunking down a little bit of health from the Diablo. And look at Medivh. He's actually trying to intercept and occupy Soap with that portal. Cheeky. But Li Ming is already helping.
Malthael's there as well, but looks like they've finally given that up. There's the hook onto ZZH. He is the target. The overkill from KTY, but he can't lock him down for long enough. Grenade is good. Moonfire, and they've zoned them back far enough that they might have the chance here, especially with Zuyu also arriving, and Medivh as well. And another hook. Where's the root? Not even needed. Molly is gone.
Wind is already showing SPT what he's made of in that game, and that really indicates to me that he took his hooking powder before the game. That was wonderful. Barely getting the hitbox there of Hanzo, and the roots weren't even needed, and there was no walls available either for Hanzo to use his natural agility to safety. So strong team fighting, as you said, Tetra. Strong team fighting by CE. Once again, another hook, the boost, the minigun. Everything is working out so flawlessly, but this time Ufasuna was strong enough. But as you also said, Tetra, the objective game or the map rotation game is certainly going in SPT's favor, right? They were able to get a couple of towers, they got the mercenary camps, and as such, the experience is still even.
Kendrick, I am seeing a pretty severe issue with this draft by CE, and that is that they're killing people so fast outside of that last one that Malthael's going to get no throwing shade stacks, and Medivh is not going to be stacked on Arcane Rift for a long time.
Yes, you may have a point there, but does he even miss a single hook? Wind, slow down,
not yet.
Please, have some mercy.
He has literally not missed a hook yet that we have seen as Wind pulls back. Able to survive, but Misaka is starting to become tanky. He's getting a lot of souls. This looks familiar, but this time, everyone else is going to be really slow to rotate. But you can see that tremendous impact value. But with Medivh showing in the lane over the minions, it forces Soap back.
Yeah, strong decision here by Soap. He resisted the urge to fight on the mercenary capture platform no matter what against two foes, but there was absolutely no one of his teammates nearby. So, oh no, he's going for the blind hook. Wind. Oh, the vision provided by Medivh is good. ZZH trying to stand in the way so he won't get a hook on Hanzo or Diablo. What a good support he is.
Be careful, Wind. Wind actually stood right next to Diablo there and could have easily been tackled into the base. Not into the base, but at least into the tower range. But moved back out of range before it was reacted to.
Okay, so CE is rotating down towards the bottom. The right-hand altar was secured. They're trying to maybe deal with the mercenaries and then potentially get a pick. MLDC on that Li Ming. Already, both teams are just... Like, I can really see what Wind's strong stitch play did to SPT's mindset, right? They were like, okay, we can't separate anymore. We can't get caught anywhere in a dark alley by that Stitches because he's going to land the hook. The follow-up combo was good enough. We already saw that. And instead, they're focusing onto Stitches before he focuses onto them. Uh-oh.
He is very tanky, though. Once again, Diablo using his big demon body, or in this case, Murloc body with this skin, to block those hooks and protect his team, because if anyone else is hooked, they're probably dead.
Yeah, this was a really big cleanse there as well, preventing the roots from landing onto the Dibbles once more. By the way, Li Ming is not going for the Arcane Armor. At level 1, she's going for Power Hungry. That means she's going to be a little bit more susceptible to Tychus grenades. even Medivh Arcane Rifts and such. So curious to see how that's going to work, because she really needs those kills, those resets, preferably while the regeneration globe still provides her with extra damage.
Gorge is online, and that now has the potential for the Gorge portal comp. Medivh needs to get over here, though, because Wind is getting focused. There is the force of will. A little bit of reabsorption. Misaka is dropped low. Down he goes, but Apok gets decent value. Decent damage onto the backline. The Tormented Souls from Zuyu also does some good work, and Lufel is probably going to die here. No, he survives from Malfurion. Dodges Melody C. Out microed. Killed by the Moonfire. And ZZA just chased down. He's gone as well. And that's going to be 4 kills going over to SPT as they grab Soap 2 with the hook.
Wow, the support synergy
5.
there. I think they may go for another one. Zuyu's on the chase. The Tychus Odin range is still good enough, and they get a quad kill. Diablo actually coming back because I think he was max on souls, but let's take another look at that team fight. Now, watch the backline. Melody C, beautiful shield here. The Tranquility, perfect synchrony, not overlapping too much. And now, Melody C, he expects to get a kill on the Medivh. He's even going in with a Divine Shield. They were so banking on that reset to happen, but then Malfurion and Medivh, the double M, they're working together.
The dodges from Medivh. A Lufel just made Melody C look like an amateur with those dodging skills there as they chase it. And in fact, CE are currently making our Chinese champions at this point look like amateurs, as they are in dominant fashion in control of this game now.
Yeah. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the true potential of China. If you were watching us, yesterday, or if you were watching some of the earlier series today, that may have looked a little bit unclean and wonky here and there. This is 2 top teams showing what they've got here. Zuyu now pressured by 2 members. Li Ming is probably going to get the kill here. Dukes a little bit more, buys a couple more seconds, but ends up falling anyways, but not without his team getting a little bit of value. The roots are good. The Gorge is even better. Here comes the arrow, but the portal is through. He's barely not getting it.
So
he escaped the belly.
Clutch arrow. That absolutely saved Misaka's life there. And now Misaka able to pull back. Tranquility was used as well, so actually burning 2 heroics of that.
Escaping the belly. The portal didn't want it. Stitches was too thick to fit through, so he had to let go of the Diablo. Can you imagine the belly size of Diablo fitting into the Stitches? I don't even want to know how much that would weigh. Must be one of the hardest targets to digest.
Quite possibly. I would prefer. I would be less happy with Arthas because he's all pointy. As we see Wind going in looking for Misaka, that circle of protection coming in from Medivh as well, just making everyone so tanky for those kind of move-ins.
Alright, Arcane Explosion is now available with AoE shielding. This is one of the biggest power spikes for Medivh. If he gets that going on clumped up targets, that would be huge. In the meantime, we see the altar being handed over. 16 to 32, exactly double the amount for CE currently. A nice lead. 13 is not here. It will be there shortly, though. It looks to me like Soap was trying to go and posture up for a flank, but hey, Medivh sees it all. Gotcha.
Just short. Wind is looking for him. He's he's easily near enough to be portaled into base, which is honestly why I'm still surprised we did not see Master's Touch. Not Master's Touch. Oh, there it is. Portal into Doctor Raid. Dragon Arrow completely misses. And there is the root. Divine Shield has to be used, but I don't think it's enough as Diablo focused now by Tychus. The bunker is used to buy time, but Malthael positioned absolutely perfectly. All this is going to happen here is SPT have just hand-delivered even more kills over to CE.
And they're not done just yet. They're using yet another portal to close the gap here on the retreating targets. This is just CE unleashed at this moment. I have never seen them play this strong against SPT. They're kryptonite. They weren't able to win the majority of games against the current Chinese champions. But here on Towers of Doom, with that Medivh Stitches combo, they just seem to be in a whole different level. Gorging the shadow charging Diablo, dodging the Dragon's Arrow, going into the fort, and then even baiting out and surviving both Divine Shields and the bunker and still getting the kill. That was just marvelous. And it also means, Tetra, that all of the saving heroic abilities should now be on cooldown, with the exception of bunker, because bunker.
Yeah, because bunker. Speaking of being on cooldown, though, Diablo is not. He has returned, and as such is in the bot lane to defend the single remaining minion, and the one sapper that got distracted by a Hammer of Justice from Uther. Diablo Scourge portal. They're not going to make it into bell tower range, so they just run at the tower so they get at least a tiny shot. Oh, Lee Ming counter kill though, 365, and Melody C decides to hit buttons. And yeah, his burst is so strong, he was able to turn that round, and that is a huge amount of comeback XP for SPT. They're looking for more. If they can get KTY here, that'd be huge, but Molly getting turned on. KTY, if he's going down, he's taking you with him, and he does.
Well, I think at some point Melody C on that Li Ming was like, I've had enough of those shenanigans, let me take down 2 of you. And I think KTY actually salvaged the situation quite handsomely. If it weren't for Odin in the superior range, that is even longer than the one of Hanzo, he could have not gotten the kill, but he remained calm and collected. He immediately saw that Molly was low, and he managed to get a kill in return. Zuyu, unfortunately, probably won't be able to do so. Unlucky, the oil spill is pretty good. Oh, no way. Come on, Alufo. That is just rude. That is just rude.
Time. Oh. And this is familiar, and this time there is a wall. Yeah, look at that. They're not even going to try. They know he's dead. Let him go. Let him die. This is all that can really happen here. This is a full cooldown, and just let him die as quick as possible. So hopefully he's back in time for the objective if they can delay it.
Now, that was just a Diablo home delivery service right there. Right into the Garden of Malfurion. Well played by CE here. They're using the time without the Lord of Terror, without the strongest boss contender for SPT, to basically take the boss, bring them down to 8 HP, 24. That's still more than half of the core's HP for CE. It's looking so good for them. And although SPT was able to get some successes themselves, you know, balancing out the XP for the most part, getting some kills here and there, they're still significantly behind in overall progress on the structures, right, Tetra?
Yes, they are. And as such, another hook comes in. Nice teleport away by Melody C though. Misaka has wrapped around APOC. Oh, get denied! Ice Block, Tranquility, Force of Will, all of the abilities are blocked. 365 might still die though, taking a fair amount of damage, but portals himself out. This is a 4vs5. Malthael's not even here. ZZH was gorged so that KTY could try and siege down Melody C, but Melody C able to sneak away. Divine Shield having to be used onto Diablo, who uses the expressway of the...
Wow.
It uses a loophole to try and get out, but he ends up going down instead. And with the Tormented Souls, not even needed here, but they will get ZZH with it as well.
Yeah, Zuyu is just collecting them all like cute little animals and cute little pet animals. It's just wonderfully done by CE. They counter absolutely everything. The ice block, the chills, quite literally, from 365 to have the prediction skills, to have the anticipation and just sit through it, waiting patiently, using the portal to get to safety, and then it all went well here. Soap actually trying to defend it to the best of his abilities. The polybomb keeping him there. The bunkers, good. No, they're not going to get him this time.
Yeah, he will survive, but they might get his bell tower. Circular protection, they focus him down. Minion wave is here, and they will burn down most of this bell tower. No, looks like they're going to let it go, and as such, Malthael does not get the full 6 shots, only 5, but saying only 5 shots just hit our core on Towers of Doom is like saying, oh, I only got malaria once. As we see CE looking to try and put some pressure and hold this bottom lane for a while with what is technically lethal worth of mercenaries.
Exactly, they need to keep those zappers at bay, and with the poke of Li Ming and Hanzo, they should be able to do exactly that. But already, the sweat drops were building up on the foreheads of SPT. Now, there is still a lot of damage potential. Yep, they can't even defend the middle. They lose another bell tower to CE, and here, the permanent hook threat. That is something that is definitely going to cause a lot of issues. One hook is all it needs to win the game right now. They're losing to a boss, losing to one altar, to a mercenary camp, so they should really make sure to never separate themselves again.
Bot is stolen back by SPT though. This is a good recovery system. This removes lethal capabilities in every lane for now, due to the fact that no mercenaries can currently make it in, but Malthael is to change that by pressuring top lane for when that mercenary respawns. Mid being defended for the moment is a big distraction, letting the minions push up, but Blaze already reacted. You can see the boss in 2 minutes, I think that said.
Yep, 2 minutes and 13, so no immediate lethal here for SPT, but 2 minutes, they can't make it 20 in 2 minutes. This is the best case scenario for SPT. Although they're not 20, it's only 1 altar, so they only need to win and hold 1 more team fight to maybe stay in the game. Doesn't even matter how many altars they take.
Hungry for more.
Sorry?
Did we talk about Stitches going for hungry for more?
Hungry Stitches, let's go.
No, level Hungry Stitches and Hungry for more. Level 1 and level 20.
Yeah. Let's
As
see
we see
what
the
comes
minigun
down.
value burning through Diablo, with the bunker is down. Dragon Arrow from behind. Molly getting some good damage, but
There we
he's
go.
kind of on his own. Divine Shield having to be used. Uther goes down into Ghost form, going to be able to drop some healing. This is lethal if SPT do not win this fight, but
they
Uther,
don't win
once
it.
again, is healing in Ghost form, and their health bars are just being deleted here. As, yeah, that's it. That's game.
Wow, they kill one after the other. Molly is the last one to fall. 2-level disadvantage was too strong, and the Stitch's all-you-can-eat buffet. Super perfect Gusto. He took them all into his belly, and that was just a wonderful performance by CE, and Wind in particular. Wind and Medivh, those two